Good morning and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk, the power of connectivity. This is special connectivity forum for FRIs, Fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, who are a member of Real Estate Institute of Canada. And we have invited our guests across Canada. So I welcome you all. My name is Tahir I. Qureshi. I'm the host of Realty Coffee Talk. So we're going to begin our program giving a little bit introduction about each other. So we know the main purpose of this conference is to get to know each other on a personal level, build our partnership, and our Fabio, who is president-elect for Toronto chapter, REIC. You have 2 minutes to tell everything about yourself, and then I will start the program and presentation.
Your elevator pitch, they call it.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Fabio Fumana. I'm a broker and an FRI. I am the president-elect for the Toronto chapter of the Real Estate Institute of Canada. It's an honor to serve. I've been on the board for a few years, mainly involved with education and events. We have planned a number of events, and networking is one of our biggest talents. That's really one of the things the Institute should do aside from education. Education is a new target for us. I'm not sure how much I have left in the last 2 minutes, but I'm a practicing broker. Our company, McCore, manages and leases real estate as well as consults on redevelopments. Our business is to create value for our clients. It's a pleasure being with you today.
Thank you very much. Krista, can you tell us something about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Krista Jensen and I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I am on the board, but I'm like, I don't know what they call it again. I look an alternate. I just hang out. I just put my 2 cents in every now and again. So I'm kind of a newer member of our local chapter. I've been doing real estate for 8 years. I do residential real estate. I work with Royal LePage Atlantic. We're like kind of the biggest outfit in town. We have about 300 agents. And so, yeah, like I really love helping people. I was a dental hygienist for 20 years before I was a real estate agent, which is, whatever, kind of interesting. You always wonder, like, how do people get here anyway? Most people are not like 17 saying, I think I want to be a realtor. Maybe some you did, but that wasn't me. Yeah, okay. I was a late bloomer at 40. So, but anyway, so there you go. The East is awesome, and everybody else is now realizing how awesome the East is. So they're all coming out this way.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So in case we need some help there in Halifax, so we know we need to reach out to Krista for that business and referral. So now I'm going to ask Vincent Chan. He's our past national president of Real Estate Institute of Canada. Vincent.
Hi, I'm Vincent Chan at Barrie Liboset. I'm the only town that have a 3-piece pajama. That was that's a great introduction, Barrie. Barrie and I know forever. Obviously, Barrie is my mentor and the star at Real Estate Institute of Canada. And I'm just only a glorified salesperson for a company called Tridel for the past, 26 years. So we built a high-rise condo. We built for the past only 85 years and 87,000 home built. So we still keep on building the city. You see Barrie's background, and there's a few buildings there as well. The market in Toronto seems quite resilient, no matter how CMHC last year was saying that we're going to have an 18% adjustment. And then condo market is going to collapse, and I guess we're still quite resilient. And later on, we're going to share a few interesting observations that I have as well.
Fantastic. Vincent, now Barrie. Barrie is a legend in real estate, the oldest FRI in our institute, I guess.
Oh, the most experienced. The most experienced.
Hey, I was the
Barrie, tell us about our audience who are watching our conference.
Okay, so Winston forgot something. Not only I mentored him in where to find a great restaurant in Lisbon, Portugal. Come on, Winston.
Yes, it is.
That was a great restaurant, wasn't it?
It is. Yeah,
I remember joining both of you on a lunch. I think was arranged by I think Vincent and you. I guess. Remember, Barrie?
No, but he did recommend me a amazing restaurant right by the waterfront there too. So therefore, we're not just talk real estate all the time, like Very,
I think I was, you were saying about getting it. I knew at 14 I was going to be a salesperson. I just didn't know I was going to be real estate. I got into real estate at 21. That's all I've known. And this is 53 years later. That was the youngest FRI. Now you're telling me I'm the oldest.
The
You
most
had to be
experienced.
you had to be 7 years in real estate. I finished my courses in the first 5 years, but I wait 2 years because you had to be 7 years physically in the business to get it. And the FRI, I've said this many times. I'm a real estate broker. I closed my own brokerage 8 years ago. I went to Remax Ultimate in Toronto. I do most of my work is working with seniors and downsizers and hoarders and what have you. But I also have a fair business in litigation. I've done 600 trials across Canada where real estate agents are being sued right now. I'm under a floodgate of agents being sued at this moment. You cannot believe the volume.
Why are there so many?
Because Ontario has ground them out. The education is horrible, and they don't understand about ethics and about what they can and can't do. Some of it is actually blatant, out and out fraud, and they're dominated by a disease called commissionitis. It dominates their thinking. There's certain cultures that don't understand about what our ethics are, and you're trying to impose ethics on people that grew up in cultures that don't have ethics that we know of. And it's been really something. But last year I did 26 cases. I wrote 26 professional reports. I have never written 26 professional reports in 1 year against agents. I also do real estate stigma.
Yeah.
This year in January, I had 9 cases come in January. It's a floodgate.
Yeah.
What's the most common infraction?
gonna-
What seems to be happening the most?
Well, there's many, but non-disclosure is a big part of it. Non-disclosure. I've got an agent that had a client from Hong Kong, from China, sorry, from mainland, and buried on the 35th page of a contract was the fact that he was buying a house on a contaminated site. That was never told to him.
Okay, Barry, we're going to talk about as we introduce our guest first. So Carmela Corrado is
Hi, how are
a
you?
leader, and she is the past president of a Real Estate Institute of Canada Toronto chapter. Carmela.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carmela Corrado. I've been in the real estate field for over 30 years. I started off in my real estate course back in 1987. And I met a gentleman who was a property manager for a very large commercial development company, and they're no longer around, but at the time was called Inducon. And Inducon was one of the biggest office building builders at the time. And this gentleman introduced me to the VP of leasing, and that's how I got into the commercial real estate. From that point on, that's all I've been doing. I also did new home sales for about 7 years, and I did resale. Wasn't crazy about doing resale. I did enjoy the new homes, but commercial real estate was basically my background. So I worked for many companies where I worked on the office environment, industrial, and also on the retail side. I'm now working with the transportation, one of the largest transportation companies in Ontario, Toronto, I should say, Toronto and GTHA. And been there for almost 7 years. I'll be hitting 7 years. And it's been very challenging and very great learning curve of how real estate works in the transportation side.
Wonderful, Carmela. Now, Ken Finch, my friend, he's a 2-time past president of Toronto chapter. Ken Finch, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Sorry it's a bit late. I have a little shoulder injury just from, I think it's just from age. So just had a little RMT
That's
session.
an excuse, man.
Feeling great now. So it was actually from lifting weights. So
Okay.
you don't lift weights for a few years or a couple decades, and that's what happens. But so yeah, I'm a broker with Royal LePage Signature. Been licensed since 2005. And I do commercial and residential real estate. I started out as a property manager. That's how I got into REIC. I was a property manager, received my CPM designation, and I received the CPM designation from, or I was advised to take it from my uncle, who he said he was in the first graduating class of the FRIs. He's not a realtor anymore. He's still a developer. But so yeah, so Barry, maybe you and Gil Boland have crossed paths. He used to, he had his own brokerage, Boland Realty in Mimico, back in the, I don't know, 60s, 70s. I don't know when it was, but you know, you must have crossed paths at some time, but you know, I won't hold you to it if you don't remember. But yeah, no, it's great to see everybody. So Krista, so you look like an upcoming REIC president, because basically
I'm the only one who hasn't been one yet. Is that why? I'm not jaded yet.
yeah, so no, I see you know, being a director and you're an immediate future.
Is it because I'm working for my bed, Ken? Is that why you feel this is an
It's
appropriate?
the smile, the smile.
No, just because you're here.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just a sign up kind of situation.
Well,
So the bar is low.
Okay, Ken, thank you very much. And now I'm going to share a small presentation that I created for our FRI group, what is happening in Toronto GTA with the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. And then obviously after that, you will have an example of what I'm trying to do. And then in our next meeting, I'm proposing that we should have once a month, where you will be able to create those type of presentations and share with us, and also we'll be doing referral. So I'm going to share my screen. If anybody wants to share anything, after that you let me know and I can allow it. So let's go and share the screen and see what I put together for you guys. So Beth, first of all, I welcome you. This is the Power of Connectivity. Let's talk real estate, FRI. We are a leader in real estate, and therefore this is the beginning. What is the objective of our conference of connectivity today? To get to know each other. When we do business, if we are connected with each other, we build our relationship and a long-term relationship, and then we also facilitate business. That's three things that we want to achieve. Get to know each other, because when you have understanding, we're all FRI. We don't need to do anything other than knowing each other and building a relationship, and then facilitating business, because we have a business, we get our relationship and activity gets stronger and stronger. So these are three objectives of this conference. The word is in your hand. You're FRI, you're leader, you're expert. And as you can see, Barry Lebow is doing so many things on the legal side, giving opinions. So we have that. So FRI is a powerful designation that have a network of real estate professionals across Canada, only available to REIC members. So my goal is to ignite the spirit of connectivity and cooperation within FRI connectivity network. That means we want to create a network, take advantage of each other's expertise, and do business. And more confidence, we have more confidence to refer FRI to FRI rather than to other people, because we follow the highest ethical and professional standards, and that's why we are FRI. So it's better that we refer a client to each other. And there are 110,000 realtors in Canada as of today. There are 527 FRIs across Canada as of today. And there are 309 FRIs in the province of Ontario. Province of Ontario have over 90,000 realtors in Ontario and only 309 in Ontario. So imagine the power they have. So we need to find them where they are. How can we are not able to learn each other? I cannot go to Niagara Falls or Windsor. I need to find FRI who can help me, and we can share some business together, make a referral. So that is the power. Look at the figures, 110,000 and 527, and majority of them, 309, are in Ontario. So this is I'm showing you statistic. It took me a little hard time to get this information. So as you know, I'm a FRI, I'm a CIPS, CRES, all those designation, but the highest is FRI. And I'm very proud to be FRI. So this is some information that I want to share with you, especially Krista, because market here, this is February to February, March is not out yet. So you can see that in 416 area, detached home average is 1.68 million. In 905 area, which include Mississauga, Milton, and Brampton area, is $1.3 million, a detached home. And semi-detached is 1.325 in 416 and 932,000 in 905. Townhome, 913,000 in Toronto and 845,000 in 905 area. And condo, these are average, and 676,000 and 563,000. These are 905, 416 area sale average. And look at the figures, how 905 is, if you look at the sale figure, in 416, 915 houses sold. In 905, 4,028. So these are the figures. And look at the bottom, year over year percentage change. 23%, 23.1% change in detached home. This is between 901 and 416 area. And semi-detached, 20.3%, 9.7% in 416, and 25.6 in 905. Because of cost has gone up, the value of prices has gone up. So people are shifting from bigger city to smaller town. So people are moving from Toronto to Mississauga, Brampton, and other Milton area, a little bit Oakville area. That's why you can see the 905 is growing. More sales are happening there. Townhome, 17.3% average between 905 and 4160 increase sales prices. And then also condo was a minus 3.7 because Toronto is 6.1% minus. Maybe we'll ask our Vincent Chan later on to give some light on that. So 901 was still in positive. Average price increase 5.4%. These are prices that you can see. Here is a market update. In February last year, we have a 7,193 sale. And this year in 21, we have a 10,970. And then again, average price was 910,142 in February 2020, and it's now 1,045,488. And this is a Toronto Regional Real Estate Board data. And here is year-over-year sales. So 52.5% change in sale. More sale in 2021 than 2020. New listing was increased 42.6%. Average active listing minus 1%. Average price 14.9% from last February to this February. So, and you can see that negative because properties are coming. We have shortage of supply and they're moving very fast. Thank you for watching. I'm going to stop the screen. So this was some information that I have. I want to share with you. And Vincent, can you tell us why the condo market is as such that we're showing negativity in Toronto?
But I think obviously under the COVID backdrop, a lot of people looking for space originally, and then moving away from downtown, and then buying for more homes. But interestingly, when the COVID restrictions start to lift, and I think a lot of people realize that the fact that counting out downtown, it's maybe a little bit more premature. So we actually see resurgence in our rental division, Del Rental. We also see a good number coming back. Now, obviously, it's not going back to the post-COVID level, but we are happy to see that the rental market is a little bit more resilient, and even in the condo sales as well too. Now, yes, we're doing pre-construction, we're doing new home. We also have some inventory, meaning that ready to move in within 30 to 90 days. And being the largest condo builder in Canada, we do have quite a bit inventory. But interestingly, for the last couple of months, I also see resurgence of sales as well too. Like, I'm not talking about a price at under $1 million. We just did a deal at 10 York. I think just behind Barrie, you probably can see our 10 York building, which is right next to the CN Tower. I have a suite called Innovation Suite, 2,300 square feet. We just sold it for $3.85 million, meaning $1,700 per square foot. Now,
Wow.
obviously, it is not a normal condo. It have all the bells and whistle, and we put all the futuristic technology that you can be able to see it. Amazon connected with everything, and we have all this new technology that we're putting in the amenities, and then also within the suite, we work with a lot of innovators to be able to demonstrate that technology. So long story short, I also see some active happening from that market now. It's just downtown. No, I launched a site during pandemic called Westerly. Right now it's 70% sold with all the restrictions. So, and even in Edenbridge, the Kingsway side, we also just sold another $3 million grand penthouse. So, and I think once again show the market is actually quite resilient. While a lot of people looking for space, they forgot that yes, I can buy as a bigger home, but it's the home available. And with the backdrop of all the crazy pricing happening in the detached home, that become more and more unaffordable. So while a lot of people looking for space, and one family through the Bank of Mom and Dad, they actually purchase condominium to increase space for the family by buying a few suite for the children. And for I always talk about a concept about smart sizing, and that's something that I need to talk to Barrie a lot more too, because Barrie is very, very focused on the senior sector, and I feel more and more people are smart sizing into a condo. So if you think about what the space that you're actually using on a daily basis, I bet you tonight you go to back to your home. Well, everybody stay home now, so what am I saying? So it is your you utilize the home that you're using. You usually use your kitchen, family room, and bedroom. And even in the pandemic, you may need an extra den or extra bedroom for work from home. But if you add up all the space you actually use in your home, you're basically using maybe 800 to 900 square feet, or maybe 1,000 square feet within your home, no matter how big your home is. And if you take that, add up all that 1,000 square feet and put it in the sky, that's the condominium. So in terms of finance, in terms of affordability, that's a lot better for our senior sector that we choose to smart size from the same neighborhood into a condominium with the extra equity that they actually own. Now, like they sell the average typical home in North York, say 2.5 million, and then smart sizing a condo, once again in North York around $1 million. All of a sudden, you release your equity for 1.5 million, a lot more comfortable for your senior retired life. And I also observed lately there's a lot of Bank of Mom and Dad that be able to, because of the extra equity that release, would help the son and daughter to increase the space that they no longer be able to move, no longer use at home and move away to go to downtown North York or some 905 you're just describing. So I think condo will be quite resilient under the backdrop of a global city such as Toronto. And then even Halifax included, I think Canada, it's quite a multicultural city, and the government is aiming to bring in 400,000 immigrants coming through to here too. Condo seems to be a relevant choice. So moving
Vincent,
forward.
Vincent, I think there are lots of transactions happening exclusively, not coming on MLS system. Therefore, those transactions are not recorded. I think
Oh, yes.
you're doing a lot of exclusive listing where you don't put it on MLS and you're selling it, correct?
Absolutely. And then also, therefore, if you wanted to check out those stats and under Altus, I think Toronto Real Estate Board, you still have access to it. Say they have a whole set of reporting regarding
Yeah.
new home sales. So yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Like all the transaction that I was mentioning is not reported at MLS, or maybe one or two.
And that's why it's not accurate in terms of the negative sales for the condominium. So, Krista, how about Halifax? What's going on in Halifax? Can you update us about any specific information you want to share?
Well, actually, just looking
Let's
at our,
keep the conversation to 2 minutes so everybody have a time to participate.
so I was just looking at our, we have weekly stats through our brokerage. So I just pulled it up actually because I was interested in what our stats were. So so in the past 12 months, 6926 properties have changed hands as opposed to 6121. So about whatever 900 or 800 more than last year. So months of inventory is 0.6, which, like I said, when I started in real estate, it was 16. So that's a humongous change of the shift of power, right? And appreciation from last year on average is 16%, but the average sale price is 403,928. So, but it's funny, we do have people from Ontario who like want to call us and they just think that they can just come in here and steal our houses. Like they're just we're buying with cash and we're gonna do whatever. So we kind of go like, hold on a second here. Like it's like a bit of a different game here, I find. And it is a lot more kind of relational. It's smaller, right? So, but there is a lot more demand than there has been. We're still a little bit afraid of condos here in Halifax. Condos are not a big thing, but I think part of the reason is because there's not that much traffic and we're not that big. So part of what I think drives city living is the commute, right? So for us, because, you know, we're like, oh my God, it took me 25 minutes to get downtown. That's our version of traffic, right? So that it doesn't really force people to live closer to the city to avoid traffic because our traffic isn't that bad. As we grow, that may change. But what people are building here is apartment buildings, and real estate agents are not involved in leasing here at all because no one will pay us. So we don't do any leasing. No leasing. So if you want to find a property to rent, then you're going to go on Kijiji Marketplace or Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Realtors are not involved in that process at all. Now, maybe as you know, there become more and more apartments, maybe that or the demand for apartments becomes greater, that might change. But right now, realtors, like I have had people ask me, oh, can you help me find an apartment to rent? We just don't do that here. Who pays when you do leasing? Who pays the person?
The landlord.
The landlord.
Yeah, really only condos because they're all individual landlords.
Right.
But yeah, the bigger apartment buildings, rarely do they give a commission.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I'll say this, we have somebody in our office that's doing about $250,000 a year just doing residential leasing. That's all
Wow.
they do. They
It's a
sell
big
into
business.
it and they're doing 25, 30 deals a month. The paperwork is horrendous.
Yeah.
You know, once you've done them and you start rolling, it becomes automatic.
Yeah.
I guess.
So
Yeah,
Barry,
but Krista, what about the commercial market in Halifax? Is there demand? Well, how are your retailers doing? You said everybody's open. You can go to the hairdresser. You can go to the gym. Is that
Yeah.
right?
So, but like we have had some different restrictions, like about restaurants closing at 9 o'clock, for example, or certain things you're allowed to go, but there still are some limitations.
Okay.
I would say, you know, I definitely think some retailers are definitely suffering. If you don't provide things that are direct to like online, I think that your chance of actually having a viable business is pretty low. So, so that definitely has happened. And like, but we're not as big eating out and spending money people anyway.
Yeah, but we have
I think
other
we're not
things.
the Dark Ages. We're like in the 50s.
Well, here we have other things such as
Just don't buy things as much as you guys do, I don't think.
well, here we have other things such as the limit on going inside a store, limited capacity, social
We
distancing.
do as well. We do
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
So So you know, for example, in Ontario, restaurants were limited to 25% of seating capacity.
Right, I think we're 50% of seating capacity.
So
But as
Fab,
far as like a vacancy for leasing, I think that there are some big companies who are looking at the East and thinking, A, we don't need as big a space because not everyone's going to be working. They're going to have some kind of hybrid system that some people are in the office 2 days a week or whatever. And
Yes.
so, but that basically it's cheaper here. So it makes it, you know, more of a viable concept to have a head office here when the space to rent is cheaper because you also don't need a humongous space. So I
Well,
feel like we're going to have more influx of companies coming here.
yeah, one of the things I noticed that not long ago, I think I was reaching out to a tech, Fred Rogers, and they were in Halifax. They were
Yeah.
based, so you know, the call centers, that kind of employment where it employs people with certain, you know, with certain type of skills. I mean, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Fabio,
Krista, just so you know, I know my clients owned a lot of property on Barrington and a lot of your plazas. I used to be in the Maritimes every 6 months for 10 years, just to appraise plazas and retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Well,
well,
actually,
I love the Maritimes. I mean, I spent a lot of time there. Like I said, I love Newfoundland. The Rock is one of my favorite places in the world.
okay, Barry, you want to share some information about you, how you're doing it? The most important part of this conversation, we know each other quite a few. I think Krista is the first time that I get to know, but we all other people, we are from Toronto, so we know each other very well. The goal is to see the expertise you each one have so we can make a referral to each other.
Yeah.
So Barry, you want to share some information, some experience about the real estate, what's going on in your life right now? 2 minutes, and then I will ask Fabio, everybody take turn.
Well,
Okay.
first of all, I'm burned out by COVID. I'll admit it. It's been traumatic. Jewish, we're having Passover this week, and
Yes, it's
our
true.
families are not together. And my ex puts on a beautiful spread, and it's hurting us because it really bothers me more than anything else about business and everything else that the family just isn't together. We've celebrated birthdays in the middle of snow in the backyards with masks on. I mean, it's taken its toll. Anyways, I digressed. Real estate. I was an appraiser for 30 years. I've always been a commercial broker. And I decided to go back into residential 8-9 years ago. My specialty, I've done 115 deals in the last 5.5 years, moving seniors down or estates. So I'm up to 115 sales. I seem to thrive on hoarders lately, don't ask. And some of them have been horrendous hoarders. But that's in my real estate brokerage business. And, you know, Remax tells me I'm still at 74 years of age. I'm still in the top 5% of realtors in Canada. So I guess that's pretty good. My litigation business is something I fell into. I've done 600 trials. I'm supposed to be quote unquote, I always joke, ask me why I'm the #1 expert on stigma in Canada. Here, ask me, why am I the #1 expert on stigma?
because when you Google that topic, your name pop up. I did it
So why
myself.
am I #1? Winston, ask me, why am I #1?
Because you're the only one talk about it, and you.
There's no
educate
#2. There's nobody else. Nobody else does it. I spent years trying to get a protege to come in and learn that part of the business. They're afraid to testify in court. And then, of course, now it's litigation against agents. So I have 2 businesses. I'm busy as a realtor, trying to find a house for 3 buyers. And in the meantime, I'm trying to write reports for lawyers and meet deadlines. So that's my life. And I lecture all over the country too.
Barry, I also wanted to know a little bit more about, you know, for the Hoarder's House
Yes.
that lately you're getting into. It's amazing story. And I was surprised to actually, I see it a lot in TV in the state, but I didn't realize it was a real problem here. Can you share with us with our FLI?
It's growing. Hoarding, as a matter of fact, I have a book, Divorce in the Real Estate Practice, a real estate process, and another one on estates in the real estate process, which are on my website. And I'm writing a new book, Hoarding and the Real Estate Process, how to deal with a hoarder's house. We had one house recently that it took, you know the bins, those big giant bins, not the small ones, the commercial bins that are, take up a whole driveway. We did 6 of them from one house. 6.
Here's a question, Mary. How do you get people going? Like, obviously hoarding is a mental disorder that you can't get rid
Yeah,
of
exactly.
anything.
I'm
How do
sorry,
you
I
start-
apologize. I didn't hear that the phone rang. I apologize.
I said, well, obviously, like being a hoarder is a mental disorder that causes
Yes.
you to like not want to get rid of anything and hold on to things, right?
Yes.
How do you start with someone to get rid of things? Like,
Okay,
you
and
have
and
to
the one
think
thing
of
I
where-
will, the one thing I will say is, I have never had anybody, I've only had one where they're in the house. In every case, I've either had the estate,
I see.
or in the last one, which was this, just before Christmas, we moved her out of the house because she had to move anyway. That's the first thing we say, you're moving anyways, let's
Right.
move you now so we can deal with the house.
I see.
We don't want them there when they start. throwing
No,
things.
I could see that would be very difficult to get rid of anything because they've held on to
Yeah.
it for a reason, right?
You've
Yeah,
met
that-
my ex-wife, have you?
All right, Fabio, can you talk about your type of business where we can reach out to our people, that what can you help us in terms of your expertise or interest? I know
Well,
you're doing more commercial.
Yeah, I too have been touched by COVID, and we've actually lost some family members in Italy. It has been a sad situation, but you know, we've had to deal with it. And on a professional basis, I'm involved in commercial real estate. We manage and lease office buildings, shopping centers, industrial space, and we've seen it's been a seesaw. Retail has faltered. We have had a lot of closing. People have been shuttered down for months at a time. We've helped them, and we've seen the government come out and help them at the same time. So a lot of our tenants were not able to actually file the paperwork, so we had to address that as well. I mean, it's become one of these things where you put your best foot forward. You don't want empty buildings. You really don't want people to close down. It's important just to keep the social ambience of your developments happening and servicing the people that are around, because you know, we are always adjacent residential areas and people are at home. So they want to come and they need to come into stores, and we have to adapt even with our offices. But essentially, one of the interesting things that Winston mentioned was the fact that we have a lot of funds in deposit. We have a lot of savings deposits, about $220 billion, and these are mainly in the hands of people like me and people like us, the older people. We're financing our children as far as buying real estate. I think the deciding factor in our economy right now is the cost of money. We are down at an all-time low. I think that needs to stay there. I think we need to be able to breathe for the next 3 years in order to catch up at what COVID has done with us. I mean, it's been devastating. Insofar as residential real estate, yeah, I agree with Winston. I think the future really is, insofar as taking advantage of the economies of scale that you know, the city structure and urban structure gives us. I think that's where we're going to be heading. Yeah, the 905 is picking up more people, but who are these people? If we are getting immigration coming into Canada, these are usually people that start at the lower price point entry level. So, I mean, having said all those things, I'm not going to go on any further. I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Fabio. As you know that, you know, the bigger cities are getting congested and prices have gone up, and a small family with the young children, they need a place for children to backyard or play. That's why they're shifting a little bit from 416 downtown towards the smaller town, because affordability has been an issue now, even in Mississauga and Brampton area, prices have gone up in Milton. So people are going to toward west a little bit further on the east side. That's why you see the shift in 905 more increase. So this is the, you know, trend that we are seeing now. And as you know, the government of Canada is getting almost 1 million people within their mandate. So there will be a supply and demand issue because I have interviewed with a member of parliament, Ikra Khalid, last Thursday on my Realty Coffee Talk, and they're putting $55 billion. They started in 2017 toward affordability of housing, and there are different projects. So still, the construction is not meeting the demand, what we need now based on what's going on in the marketplace. So anyway, regardless of COVID, it hasn't affected real estate, especially in GTA, as you know. So now I'm going to ask Ken, at the end, before we end the program, everybody will have 1 minute to give your phone number, email, and contact information, name of your brokerage. Purpose again is that we are FRIs, so this is being viewed by FRIs, so we can help each other, connect with each other, and refer business to each other. So Ken, anything you want to offer? What's going on in Oakville? I believe you are from Oakville.
Yeah, so I'm based in Oakville. I live in Oakville, just west of Toronto, but I cover a big range because I deal with mostly buyers and sellers and landlords that, just through my database. So I've, the past 12 months, I've been everywhere. I've purchased some houses for a real estate development in Welland. So that's near Niagara Falls. I had a buyer. I sold a house in Mississauga, which is in between Toronto and Oakville. And then they needed to buy a house, and they wanted to downsize and pay less. So then we just kept going further west and west. We started out in Milton, which is close to me, and then Hamilton. That's still in my area, closer to Toronto, really, for me. And then we just kept going further west and west and west, and the bidding wars didn't stop. I went all the way to Windsor, which is like a 3-hour drive, because they wanted to use me. They're like, we have to use you, Ken. We're at you. And I'm like, I was going to refer it out, but I tell you, the local realtors didn't really like that. They block you. They have the lock boxes that you need to register with the local real estate board. So you just can't go and get the lockbox code. So I had to register with a couple the London real estate board, the Windsor real estate board. But anyway, we found them a home finally. But I just the shortage of inventory has really made it difficult for buyers. The bidding war. It's a bidding war for every listing. So it's a big challenge.
So here, I do apologize. I do have a meeting that I needed to go to. Thank you so much for connecting with.
If you want to leave your message, final message, and so we can close the program.
Yeah, so Connect is quite easy. I'm quite active in social media. Just reach out and connect. And obviously, we cooperate with brokers. All the way from Halifax too. And as a matter of fact, we have quite a few of customers from Halifax as well too. I believe those medical school, to be loyal once again through, to be loyal, to be doctors through the Bank of Mom and Dad, they purchased some condos here. So, but to contact us to reach out the local realtor here, Ken, Tahir, Fabio, and then they would be able to direct you to us.
Fantastic. Thank you
right.
very much.
Thank you.
So let's close the program in a sense that everybody give 1 minute. So Krista, your final message and contact information, please.
Oh, can I ask a question first?
Sure.
So do you think that the Bank of Mom and Dad thing is so big there because it's not as big here?
Mm-hmm.
Because things are so expensive, and so that's the only choice?
Yeah.
That's a very popular one.
Get themselves into the market.
Yeah, for now, mom and dad that are still around are able to help out. But when that bank dries up, it's going to be difficult for anybody to try and buy something, especially with the prices going up. It's a tough situation for our children because even getting financing, they can't afford it. They can't afford some of these houses. So in retrospect, a lot of these couples are going, as Tahir said, east, west, and even north of the city because for affordability.
There's another perspective, working in the seniors market. Reverse mortgages for more people over 60 have mortgages today than any other time.
Okay.
Number two, reverse mortgages have gone up 400%.
Betty, Fabio is leaving. Could you leave a final message for yourself?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I have someone coming in 10 minutes and I have to prepare for this meeting. It's been a pleasure. My name is Fabio Fiumana. You can reach me at F Fiumana, FFRUMANA mccor.ca.
Are
Um,
all of our email addresses on this calendar invite? I feel like it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
Probably. So
Yes.
listen, I'll leave you all. I do have to rush. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and at least listening and learning today. More to be followed. Have a good
Okay,
day.
Fabio, are you agreeable that we do once a month, have a conversation with everybody?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Barry,
Bye now.
Barry, your message, please.
Simple. I mean, I'm easy. Barry Lebow, L-E-B-O-W. You can find me anywhere on the internet, and there's my website, barrylebo.com, and I'm accessible. You know, I mean, I'm starting to cut back. I'm starting to semi-retire. I only work half days on Sundays now.
That's good for you. Good for you, Larry.
Thank you, Barry. It's my pleasure. Now, Carmela, can
Hi.
you tell us a little bit about your project,
So-
project and your information?
The company I work for is a Fortune 500 company, one of the largest companies in Ontario for transportation. One of the things about transportation is because, you know, with the real estate, and I hear it a lot, is if I'm going to buy something, I want to buy it near where transportation is because it's got added value. You know, your subways, your GO transits,
Absolutely.
and you know, it's so. And I have a friend of mine who just bought a townhouse in Bowmanville, which is on the east side out of Toronto. And she knows there's a new station going to be built right around the corner. And she's already saying, hey, my house is going to go up, you know, I'm going to be so happy when that goes in there because my house is going to be a lot more value. And people look at that. That is really important. One of the factors also in buying in a metropolitan you know, property area like Toronto. And we've got and then the fact that it's going to be expanding even outward even further will bring, you know, more people in and more people out to the outskirts.
Thank you very much. We always encourage people to buy property close to GO station because mostly people who are doing investment property are all traveling to downtown Toronto to work. It's easy to get on a train and instead of, you know, using a car is expensive, wear and tear on your vehicles, and also environmental issues. So we always encourage to buy a property close to the GO station. So Ken,
And by
you
the way,
wanna
I'm
give-
available anytime. You've got my coordinates listed with this email, but I'm also part of the Real Estate Institute of Canada Toronto chapter, so you can reach me through there too. I got to
Wonderful.
fly. Thank you very much to hear.
Thank
Take
you very
care,
much. We'll
everybody.
see you next episode. Ken, you want to say a message before I give my final message?
Sure. Yeah, you know, Ken Finch, just Google me. There's Ken Finches in Florida that sell real estate. There are a few of us, but I'm the real deal. I think I'm the only Canadian one. So kenfinch.net, because I net you more for the sale of your house.
Well,
so yeah, no, good to be here. Thanks for setting this up, Tahir.
thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to entertain my fellow FRIs across Canada. I thank you very much for your participation. So we'll schedule our monthly meeting on every third Thursday of each month to talk about real estate. I think you have an idea now. Next time when you come on the conference, you can share the data and do a presentation. The purpose again is to get to know each other because, like you know, real estate is a trust business, and client trusts you. And then when you have a situation where your client needs to travel or migrate or relocate to a different part of the Canada, and we can refer with confidence to our fellow realtors, and we can reciprocate or whatever referral arrangement can be made between each other. Idea is that with closed eyes, we can refer our client to fellow FRIs anywhere in Canada because we know that we all follow highest ethical and professional standard across Canada. We're expert in real estate and that we're recognized by the real estate industry. And Barry Lebow is a legend and he's one of the leaders in real estate. And
favorite
all
FRI.
are
Keeping statistics.
example of character that we have. So Barry, thank you very much for coming. So I look forward to all of you, and you can please join FRI Network Group on Facebook. Also, like the Realty Coffee Talk, because this is where I post my information, and look for the video I will be sharing with.
Did
on,
Krista say
YouTube.
goodbye? I don't know if we got the contact. I already added you on Facebook and LinkedIn, by the way, but
I'm gonna
But,
I'm gonna add you on Facebook, Krista.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
But I
Krista,
don't-
so
yeah,
be
but
friend with
anyway.
each other.
you were connected.
Let's connect. Thank you very much. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Thank you very much for joining. Bye-bye. Bye for now.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you for doing this, Leo. Thank you, my
welcome.
friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.